Hey, it's your boy Nurse Akeem. I'm a registered nurse in the state of Georgia, and I'm a future psych MP in the making. Welcome to my channel. Here, we dive into all things nursing, lifestyle, and culture. If this is your first time here, welcome to the White Coat Gang. I'm so happy that you stopped by. And if you've been here before, I hope your day going good and amazing. Now let's jump into this story coming straight out of New York. Introduction. Today, we're discussing a tragic event left so many people wondering what led to such an extreme act. The shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO has sparked a public outcry, but we need to talk about what led up to this incident. I'm going to explore why some might feel push this man to the edge in our current healthcare system and what needs to change to prevent things like this from happening.
We still do not know why the CEO of UnitedHealthcare was murdered on Wednesday here on the streets of New York, but some of us have been really surprised by the reaction online. Many have shared their very deep frustration with the health insurance industry.
I have never seen Americans so united on something as I have over the last 24 hours in the comment sections on these news articles about the UnitedHealthcare CEO.
If you think that I didn't need anesthesia to have surgery, you're insane.
I'm having a hard time being empathetic to the situation whatsoever, because this is a billion-dollar company, okay, that denies access to people every single day.
And we're fighting with the insurance company over her dialysis to keep her alive.
Having said that, I think that there is something really instructive in seeing how almost gleeful people are about this horrible event. And the truth of the matter is what it tells me is something that we all already know, that Americans have just had it. We have had it.
She speaks for a lot of people there, but this really isn't about this tragedy. The videos of the doctors talking about their frustrations with insurers are from before the shooting.
I had billed $12 and change for a patient's allergy injection, and they had done an audit and said that they weren't going to cover that bill of $12 and change. I am a doctor, and I have no idea why they're able to deny this.
Does anyone else feel like they're having everything denied and need to appeal lately? I mean, I'm talking about joint replacements for a patient with bone-on-bone arthritis needing to get appealed for no reason. Like, what do we do? How can we make this end? I just feel like I'm in this cycle, spending more time dealing with insurance companies than with patients.
Insurance is the largest roadblock to just attaining proper treatment, access to healthcare. And it's just like we're just bleeding money left and right in this healthcare industry. And who is it benefiting? Not benefiting me as a doctor. It's not benefiting the patient. Who is it actually benefiting?
Wow, here to help us understand why so many people are so very angry is CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder. She's editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News. Really glad to have you here, especially on this particular day. Listen, we can all agree that the system is broken. We all agree on that, but it seems that people are having a hard time separating the broken system for the person. The fact that so many people are, gleeful is the word, that this has happened to this man, just sort of stuns me. How did we get here?
Look, vigilante justice is not okay.
Yeah.
We do have a country of law and order where there are systems to address these issues, which we can talk about more. But look, to quote Al Sharpton, the rent is too damn high. Healthcare costs are too damn high. And what we see in this country is that the #1 cause of bankruptcy is healthcare-related expenses. According to KFF polling, after groceries, transportation, and rent, healthcare costs are the #1 cost of concern to families in this country. And so we've gotten to a point where healthcare is so inaccessible and unaffordable, people are justified in their frustrations.
Yeah, you shouldn't go broke trying to live. So the insurance industry can do something about this, can't they?
Well, there's There are things that can be done. So under President Obama, there was the Affordable Care Act, which helped to expand health insurance. So you had Medicaid, you had the marketplace, then you also have subsidies to make it more affordable to purchase plans on the marketplace. Those were made even more generous during the pandemic. And then those more generous subsidies were extended under the Inflation Reduction Act under President Biden. But we also have other challenges in terms of why are healthcare costs rising. So, you have efforts to extend coverage and make more people have healthcare be available, but prices are going up.
So we're the only country in the developed world that has this struggle, that has this challenge of people seeing the cost of healthcare rising and insurance premiums also rising. There's a recent KFF poll that found a quarter of U.S. adults say they've skipped or postponed getting the care they need simply because of the cost. So what needs to change?
Well, we have a very different healthcare system from other countries. We have a very piecemeal healthcare system with our coverage, with the way it's delivered. Many other countries have what we call socialized medicine. By the way, Medicare is socialized medicine. Yeah. And even that socialized medicine is the most expensive in terms of healthcare for the elderly in the world. There are a lot of different proposals that have been made. So again, going back to the Inflation Reduction Act, negotiating down the price of drugs, giving Medicare the authority to do that. We've already seen one round of price negotiations. The incoming administration wants to eliminate the Inflation Reduction Act, at least many of the provisions of that. So whether that will continue, we don't know. We've seen a lot of mergers and acquisitions in the healthcare industry, which means less competition. The Biden administration has really been trying to pursue antitrust suits to block some of these. The Trump administration, the prior administration, tried to make healthcare pricing more transparent. That was another way of trying to make things better. It's really going to depend.
Not enough.
Yeah. It's not enough. These are all sort of chipping away at a bigger problem.
So we saw the doctors in those clips talk about how it seems like more and more claims are being denied. Are you seeing that? And for people at home whose claims are denied, what can they do?
I'm definitely seeing more claims being denied. And what we're also seeing now is increasing use of AI by the insurance companies to deny claims, and then you have competing AIs being developed by healthcare systems to fight the health insurance AIs. Me as a doctor, I have to spend a lot of time on the phone with various different companies to try to explain why my patient is in the hospital, needs to be in the hospital. If you are finding your claims to be denied, first of all, you should collect all of the paperwork you can to make your case. Review very carefully the statements that are sent to you, what the issues are, see what your doctor can do to start in terms of filing an appeal. And then there are state insurance commissions that regulate insurance that you can also appeal to. So you go NAIC.com and look up for your state.
Do you think this could lead to changes in the insurance industry? It's interesting that Anthem has already made a change on anesthesia. They said, they're not citing the shooting, of course. They're not saying that. But do you think in some, I hate to say it, that something good could come out of this tragedy, then insurance companies will wake up and say, hey, we can and we need to do better?
Perhaps. I think the real change needs to come from people. And I think that includes patients and healthcare workers, and they need to be going to their locally elected officials to push for change.
I think that's the point, the elected leaders. Dr. Gounder, always great to have you. Thank you very much.
First of all, let's talk about healthcare itself. Over the past few years in America, healthcare costs have just got out of control, man. In 2023, the average annual premium for a single person's healthcare insurance was about $8,400. So for families, that's at least 24 G's, you know what I mean? These premiums have gone up 7% for the past year alone. In fact, family premiums have risen 22% in the last 5 years and 47% in the past decade. With those rising costs, many people feel they just paying too much for less too. To make matters worse, insurances like UnitedHealthcare, they came under fire now. In 2024, about 1/3 of their claims submitted to UnitedHealthcare was denied, leaving these patients with medical bills they cannot afford or treatments they can't get. You know what I mean? This all contributes to public frustration. People paying high premiums, but when they need the most help, they left facing denials, financial ruin, and access to life-saving treatments. So, what's something y'all think could have made blow this man's brains out? It did. So, what drives someone to act like this? Man, just imagine being diagnosed with a life-threatening illness only to find out that your insurance ain't gonna cover it. For many people, this ain't just hypothetical, it's reality. Medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, and insurance denials are a major part of this issue. Denied claims, particularly for life-saving procedures, can lead to delayed care, worsened health, and financial devastation. So for many individuals navigating this system, it can feel like fighting a losing battle. And when everything is on the line, your health, your family's future, it's easy to see how the frustration can boil over into something like this, far more extreme, the broader impact. But let's not forget that acts of violence like this have a rippling effect. The impact, it ain't just the individuals involved, it's seeing shockwave through the community, organization, and entire industries. When incidents like this happen, they deepen the mistrust between the public and the healthcare system. People already feel like the system is impersonal. That's it, more about profits and people's health. The reality is, this incident only worsens the perception. If we want to rebuild trust, we must address the systemic issues that lead to such much anger and frustration in the first place. So what needs to change? So what can we do to fix this? Well, for starters, healthcare reform is so long overdue. I said healthcare reform. Anyway, the U.S. spends more on healthcare than any other country, but we fall short in terms of outcome, especially when it comes to access and equity. One major issue is the lack of transparency in the claim process. Patients deserve to need to know why their claims are denied and have a clear path to appeal. Insurance companies need to prioritize patient advocacy and provide fair, timely decisions. We also need to address the rise in premiums, man. With the cost of healthcare skyrocketing, it's becoming so unaffordable to many families if these premiums can't be moderated. It would ease the financial burden of millions of Americans. And perhaps more importantly, many individuals feel trapped in a system that doesn't listen to them. Providing more resources for emotional and mental health could prevent frustration from escalating into violence. Y'all know how the people can get. So in conclusion, while the act of violence against UnitedHealthcare CEO is tragic, it serves as a stark reminder of the deep frustration people feel in a broken healthcare system. We need to come together and push for change before more lives are affected. So anyway, what y'all think? What changes do you believe are most urgently needed in our healthcare system to avoid situations like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So, thanks for watching today's video. If you found this discussion insightful, be sure to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe. Stay updated on future content. Let's keep the conversation going. And if you're interested in more discussions like this, check out my other videos right here. Alright, peace.